Hi guys, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Peter Louis.
Welcome back to Legend and Lore, a world tour. Today we sail north of Scotland to the Orkney Islands, where ancient Norse and Celtic beliefs collide in the terrifying form of the Nuckelavee, a monstrous skinless horse demon said to emerge from the sea and bring plague, drought and death wherever it goes. The wind lashes the cliffs of the Orkney Islands, carrying with it the sting of salt and something far less natural. Beneath the roar of the waves, a sharp stir, massive, wrong, and impossibly fast. It bursts from the surf, the moonlight catching, glistening anew, where skin should be. The veins pulse black, the muscles twitch, the smell. It's as if the sea itself has turned rancid. Fused to the back of the skinless, horse-shaped beast is a human torso, grotesquely long-armed, its knotted fingers dragging the ground as if it lumbers forward. From the center of its face burns a single red eye, glowing like a coal freshly plucked from the fire, and when it exhales, the very air turns poisonous. Fields wither, cattle grow ill, and sickness creeps into every corner of the land.
I think I need a photo. This does sound crazy. This is more like a, what do you call the horse dude?
The headless horseman.
No, the horse, the guy with the horse body and the torso of a man.
I always see those, but it's normally like this hot guy with long hair, not creepy. I've never had a creepy one. So I know what you're talking about.
It's called people just listen to us Googling. That's basically all we ever do. Half human.
Half horse. Well,
Half human,
technically
half
it's not horse. It has a specific word. It's horse donkey, or there's a third one that's part of it. So it has a specific word. So they don't actually say half human, half horse. There's another word for it, saying it can be a donkey, a zebra, or a horse. But there's a specific word.
Greek mythology is centaur.
Centaur, there's the correct.
A little horsey dude.
Normally
with
it's a attractive guy with long hair and stuff, but yeah, this is that's.
I'm just glad it was this way around. Imagine it was the head of a horse and the body of a man.
I think the thing there is it won't be able to talk.
Yes, and awkward.
There was actually somewhere somebody drew it. It was a joke. I think it was kids, so I have seen it. It's nah.
Okay, so we're in the northern islands of Scotland,
Yes.
and we're talking about cows getting sick. This is on the islands.
Yes.
Where do
it's
I
not
see?
just-
I'm
it's
looking for
not
a
just
photo
cats,
of this
it's
guy.
everything. So basically his breath kills everything in the vicinity.
So I'm going to Google a picture. I'm going to see what this looks like.
Isn't it? It's drawings and stuff, but it's not like somebody that saw him drawings. There is a guy that saw him, but
Yeah, it's very weird.
they just draw
It's
him
like
weird.
just a dude on a horse and he's skinless and it's weird.
It's creepy. Very, very creepy. He looks really creepy.
From Orcadian folklore. What's Orcadian?
No, I don't know.
I'm going to Google Orcadian.
Go for it.
Anyhow, just 1 second. Okay.
Sorry, guys. I have a 3-year-old that's sick, so we're doing this on the run. Okay.
Orcadians, also known as Orkney men, are an ethnic group native to the Orkney Islands. Oh, so it's the Orkney Islands. You mentioned that. Orcadians. That's a cool name for island people. Orcadians. Anyway,
Good to
back
know. My brain is trying to put everything together. Okay, so locals call it the Nuckelavee, devil of the sea. In the old Orcadian tongue, there's the word, though the name would only be written down centuries later, hints of a skinless sea devil appear in scraps of old island records as far back as the 1500s. Fragments in Latin that speak of a marvelous accuse. Is that I don't know how to. I tried to figure it out. Let's say it's accuse. EQUUS, whatever. Marvelous accuse from the deep. But it was Walter Trail Dennison in the late 1800s who gave us the clearest, most chilling account. He spent the late 1800s collecting the myths of these islands. He claimed there was one man who'd survived an encounter. His name was Thomas. According to Dennison's notes, Thomas swore that the thing chased him inland, its hoof pounding the earth like thunder, the smell of decay closing in around him. He ran until he found a stream, and the moment he leaped across it, the creature stopped dead, snarling at the water's edge.
So this thing is just land-bound. It's not in the ocean.
It is in the ocean. I'll get to that part later. It comes from out of the ocean.
Because I've got this an idea of like the Flying Dutchman of the ocean, but not.
No, he is from the ocean. He comes out of the ocean. There's a reason he stopped at this water. I'll get literally to it now.
I'm waiting in patience.
Fresh water. You see, it's the only barrier that the Nuckelavee cannot cross. So, seawater, no problem. Fresh water, issue.
But it can go on land.
Yes.
Okay.
From out of the sea. It runs on the land. It chases you. It kills you on the land. It just cannot cross fresh water.
So can his horse float?
No, I think
Or does it fly?
No, I think it
On
comes from
land?
underneath. Like, remember, like in hopefully you've watched Pirates of the Caribbean, people. Pirates of the Caribbean, where they walk underneath. I'm guessing it's like that. He walks out, and then you just start seeing his body coming from out of the water, and bam. I'm thinking of those pirates that came from underneath and just walk onto land. I think it's something like that. I have no proof of this, but that's what I imagine in my head. So, the Orkney people feared it far more than its appearance. They said it despised the burning of kelp, an important trait for the islanders. Every time the smoke curled into the sky, the monster would take revenge, sending drought, disease, and a cattle plague known as mortissheen. Whether this was a myth or a way of expanding very real environment hardship, the fear it inspired was enough to keep children indoors and fishermen wary of the shore. Even its coming and goings were tied to the rhythm of the sea, so this part is interesting for me. For half of the year, the mother of the sea, so that means the mother of the sea, would bind it beneath the waves, keeping it from roaming. But when she releases it in autumn, the Nuckelavee would rise again, striding from the ocean to walk the land, its foul breath heralding disaster. So basically, if you go read up about the mother of the sea, when she's at her strongest, she forces him into the sea and keeps him there. The way she keeps him there is by, in that time period, it rains a lot. So the fresh water keeps him in the sea, so he can't come out. But as the season changes, she loses her power. And as she starts to lose her power and starts basically struggling to keep him in there, in the sea, he starts overpowering her, and once he overpowers her, then he is free for a certain part of the season when obviously it's not raining the whole time. Then as soon as her power's back, she takes him back to the sea. So he's only out on certain seasons.
So
where it's not raining season.
Yeah, it feels like a lot like, I think we did a part about Moana. Also had the mother that kept him in the sea, wasn't it?
No, you're thinking about, no, she didn't keep him in the sea, she threw him in the sea to kill him.
Just the reverse Moana.
No. They're not throwing him in the sea to kill him. She's keeping him in there. I'm sure if she could kill him, she would have, but she's forcing him. It's like imprisoning him. Moana is... It's not Moana. It's what was the guy's name? You're welcome. What's his name?
Maui.
Maui's mother thought he had a defect or something, was going to die, so she threw him in the water to die.
Okay.
He wasn't supposed to come out again. So there was nothing there about this. This is the mother of the sea. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Forces him into the sea to imprison him for those seasons. And then obviously she lets it rain and it's fresh water and everything. And then when she loses her power, he escapes basically, overpowering her. It's not the same thing. Not even close.
Where did Nuckelavee,
Nuckelavee?
where did it come from? Was it human that became non-human?
I didn't see anything about that.
Okay. There's another question I have. I'm Googling it myself.
I just know it was in the 1500s. I couldn't find specifically that he was like somebody who was upset or he died with his horse and turned into a horse human or whatever, centipede.
Because I see, I googled Mother of the Sea just to get to what's the hierarchy of this, because I know the whole Celtic, all these myth and Norse mythology kind of does go quite a way back, so there's a lot of stories behind it. Mother of the Sea has another arch enemy, which is the Tehran.
I didn't even see that, but I was focusing on
And the
Nuckelavee.
Tehran looks like a Groot. You know, remember from, what was that movie? I'm Groot.
Let's
it looks like
see
this.
what our Moana episode is for anybody that wants to go listen to that. Episode 11 was Moana for anybody that wants to know more about Maui, since we spoke about him. That was our episode 11.
A whole book here on Reddit.
That's
Our
a problem.
mythology
Reddit
on
isn't always very
he wrote a
trustworthy.
book about it, but like it's like a kiddies book, but it's not a kiddies book. So basically, it references the low pressure system, high pressure system of the weather.
The mother of the sea.
Mother of the Sea is within the
What's
low
the
pressure system.
other enemy? I just want the name. No, that's her.
Tehran.
Tehran.
Teran.
T-E-R-
Eternal rivals of Orkney mythology.
Tehran.
So it says here, most would think the varying
sea.
changes in temperature, air pressure, and moisture that happen around Orkney south here will be the cause of the
What?
island's weather.
Sorry?
No, it's trying to explain the weather, but they're basically pointing Mother and Tehran as the good weather and the bad weather. So that's why in autumn she's strongest in summer because she's the better weather, and then weakest in winter.
She controls the weather.
A cute little book. I want to see what the guy's name is. You can look it up. Mr. Hungry Moth. It's on a thread on Reddit, our mythology. A little book he wrote. Looks like a kiddie's book, but it's not a kiddie's book. It kind of explains it, the Tehran part of it. Maybe there's something. Anyway, sorry, completely off track. But just like the Mother of the Sea is a big Celtic thing, big Norse mythology thing.
Yes.
And now she has these different enemies.
I don't know how big it is there because I listened to a few YouTube videos and read a bit, and one of the people said she has a friend down there and she asked, listen, do you know of the Nuckelavee? And he didn't know anything of it. So I'm not sure if it's still a big thing there or was it more a big thing there previously. They refer to basically since kelp took off and people started working more, and basically that the country evolved. It's half as if it disappeared. People didn't tell it to their kids anymore, so on. So I'm not sure if it's still a big thing or if it's something that your grandparents would remember or something like that, because it doesn't look like it's being. But okay, obviously that's one or two people that said they don't know what the Nuckelavee is.
Because the Northern Ireland, so Scotland is very Celtic, very Gaelic mythology. Which is, their dialect is Gaelic, they speak Gaelic. So that's a type of mythology like you get your Roman mythology and Greek mythology. So you do get your Celtic mythology. And the Northern Islands apparently are more influenced by what we just said now about the Norse mythology, which is Vikings, more to the northern side. So Norse
Yes, but the question is, do people our age and younger know about it, or is it just their parents or their grandparents? That's my thing.
I think
It doesn't look like the Nuckelavee is still. I don't think they have like tourists going specifically to go see
No, I don't
the
think so.
Nuckelavee. Like
But-
a lot of the other stuff, people actually went out and they went on purpose to find whatever we were talking about, or tell more about, or saying, "Ooh, they walk there and they feel something creepy." I didn't find anything like that about the Nuckelavee. So it's like it's
Yeah,
a
it's
dying.
It's like the last big Nuckelavee time was the 1800s.
Yes,
And
so
after
I
that it
don't
stopped.
know if that's when it stops, like maybe the murder of the sea. I don't know. One, maybe he fell in a puddle of fresh water and died, who knows? Or if there's still something there and people just don't necessarily go to that specific space, I don't know.
Yeah, but like I said, they're more Celtic, and I think if you speak to someone from Norse mythology, your Viking people more, they would be probably know more about it than the Scottish people will.
I have no clue. And then also, one of the sites I read, there's basically kelp. Kelp is one of his downfalls. So also somebody moved to the island and basically made a big kelp factory, so to say, if I understand correctly. So it boomed. They made a booming business of kelp. And then, if I'm correct, kelp, they said, is burning seaweed. Burn seaweed.
Yeah.
But it's something that grows. They call it like burn seaweed. So basically, when that started booming, it's possible that he had to move, disappear, go away because it was too much kelp and could hurt him or keep him away. Because I know they said they burned, in the olden days, they burned kelp and stuff as a deterrent to get him away. So it's possible because it started becoming a booming business, he had to go away.
No, I think it's more just because this
He
is
was
more
forced
of
away.
a folklore and more of mythology, more like your...
I don't know. I like to think that they basically won. He's now stuck in the sea because half the year or half the time the murder of the sea keeps him there, and the other part he can't come out because either they have fresh water or kelp. So he's kind of stuck.
But like I understood that the kelp angers him when you burn the kelp.
Yes, so I'm
He'll
guessing it
come out
makes
when
him
they start
sick.
burning the kelp.
Yes, and then he basically destroys everything. So
Anyhow.
it's interesting.
Well, but back to script.
So some scholars say it's the perfect marriage of Norse and Celtic fears. Part kelp, part sea devil, a monster born from centuries of sea-fearing nightmares. But in Orkney, it wasn't a creature to be studied. It was a curse to be avoided. People rarely spoke its name without whispering a prayer. Even the sound of hooves on a stormy night was enough to send doors bolting shut. So funnily enough, they wouldn't actually say his name. A lot of the research I did, they refuse to say his name, and if they do, they immediately say a prayer. I didn't actually put that prayer here. It was just like a short thing they said, basically to make sure it doesn't attack them. So it was very
But it's
interesting
not
as
like
well.
this is one of those scare folklores, like back to Germanic, to German, or was it Western European, where they use stories to scare children or scare people
No.
into being good or being bad. This is just something that existed. It's not like if you burn the kelp, the Nuckelavee will come for you. This is just, it's just there.
No, they burned a kelp to keep him away. So he got angered if he found it or saw it, but they burned it to keep him away. So they actually put it there to keep him away.
Yeah, but
That's
like,
why
it's
he got
it's not
upset.
like this is telling a story to anyone. It's not like they're trying to teach you a lesson.
No.
Like a lot of the other things we've covered, it's something probably made up to
I
teach you a
don't
lesson.
know if it... I know what you're talking about. A lot of the other stuff they say, skeptics think it's to teach people to be better people or whatever. I get what you're saying. But it can just be that they held on to the other type of myths or legends or something we talked about, and somebody decided to make a whole story around it and make it more scary. I just think the Nuckelavee wasn't... Nobody attached himself to this. I'm pretty sure if they actually do the research and go look into him again or so on, they would think up something. It's just that the Nuckelavee isn't as popular as the other ones, as the other myths.
I think we'd probably
Because
spend a lot of
it's
time if
freaking
we had
scary.
to. Yeah, it's scary, but I think if we spend a lot of time about this kind of mythology and try building a picture of it, it'll keep us quite busy. Because like there's a lot of small creatures, especially in the northern seas. about this. And if you say, no, this is a mix between Norse and Celtic, that's two very big different worlds, but they merge, and then you get the Nuckelavee.
Yes,
And
it's very creepy.
Mother of the Sea, which is weird because Mother
I'd like
of the
to
Sea
know
is
how
more
many
German.
people out there from here, from the
Scotland.
yes, I'd like to
Northern
know
Ireland
how
or
many
Scotland.
people from Scotland actually know. So if you are from Scotland or from specifically these islands, let us know. Tell us more about it. I did try to read up a lot about it. Like I say, I found what I could find. I couldn't find any. I always like to find like a study. Somebody does a study to tell me more, because they normally play the I believe in it, but I don't believe in it parts, so I could read up more about it. But I couldn't find anything like that about this. Like I said, this is pretty much the information I could find about the Nuckelavee. And it was quite interesting. And like I say, because people didn't go into the Nuckelavee like they do in the other legends, so on, it wasn't something I had nightmares about. But I mean, if you look at the picture and the idea of it, it's very creepy. So it was interesting, but I don't think people know a lot about the Nuckelavee anymore.
I think a bigger story, I think this probably for another episode, is just the Tehran.
Yes, I
Which we
wrote
spoke
it down just to. I'll see if we do it as a fan base or if I'm going to
Yeah.
do an actual episode before.
Because that's like, it's a bad weather and the good weather, and they fight, and there's lighting, which is actually cute. It's interesting. You should see this book. It's actually.
You can send it to me, because maybe I can look into it and see if it's possible to get the book.
I don't know. It's like this guy did quite a bit of a.
Then again, with the state of how much our kids either have to do something for school, get sick. I'm not getting to everything or reading everything. It's quite interesting to try and get to do everything while having kids and sorting out a podcast in between.
Okay, well, I'll put it in the script. It's
Thank
there
you.
already.
I'll go
Yeah.
look at that. Okay, so is the Nuckelavee the ultimate horror of the sea? A skinless demon riding the tide in search of vengeance? Or is it a story woven to make sense of misfortune, a personification of the storm, sickness, and scarcity that has always haunted the islands? Whatever the truth, the waves of Orkney still crash with the same restless rhythm. And who's to say what waits beneath them?
If you enjoy diving down this rabbit hole into the world of weird with us, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share your own thoughts. Remember to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for more content. And please share our podcast with fellow folklore lovers to help us grow.
Until next time, stay curious and keep the legend alive. Bye!
Bye.